Hello, this is Bill Scheid from Applied Finance Research with a year-to-date system performance update on BMR 21 through Q3 of 2025. I'm doing this because recently BMR is coming off of a 10% gain last month, and so I thought it would be an interesting moment to check in and see how the performance of the system is throughout the course of the year so far. So what we have here is a backtest generated by etfreplay.com from December 31st, 2024 through September 29th, 2025. Note that this backtest does not include slippage, commissions, taxes, or fees, and it also doesn't include our sober volatility stops or optional short positions. So on the equity curve here, the green line is for BMR 21, while the blue line is for the S&P 500. Jumping over to total return, we see that the system has returned 21.1% so far this year versus 14.2% for the S&P 500. We also see that the system has made that greater return on lesser volatility. Volatility for the system has been 18.0% versus 21.4% for the S&P 500. To jump down here to the summary statistics, the compounded annual growth rate for the backtest is 29.8% versus 19.9%. We have to keep in mind that we have a small sample size here. It's only 9 months, but if we extrapolated the math, that's what we would arrive at. The backtest has a Sharpe ratio of 1.25 versus 0.70 for the S&P 500. BMR 21 has S&P correlation of 0.56 so far this year. I really like the maximum drawdown numbers, only 12.9% for BMR 21, while S&P has had a maximum drawdown of 18.8%. On the equity curve, the gray area is the peak to trough maximum drawdown for this backtest period. You may remember back in the spring, there was a lot of market turmoil around the tariff situation. So that was the period of the maximum drawdown. Again, this does not include our sober stop or our short positions. So this equity curve would look different for anyone who was applying those two elements to this system. From there, we see that we've had 7 winning months, 2 losing months. Not bad at all. The system has outperformed the S&P 44% of those months. The best month, 10.87%, that was September. We can see that September was an absolutely outstanding month for the system. The system identified strength in PBW and XLK, so that's clean energy and technology, and captured some really nice gains there. Worst period was 5.50%. And then we have our median winning periods and median losing periods. I like to look at return to drawdown ratio. For me, I think that is a very useful, quick gauge of the value add of a system versus another system or buy and hold, etc. So here we see that the return to drawdown for BMR 21 during this period is 2.31 versus the S&P 500 of 1.05. So we have more than double the return to drawdown ratio for BMR 21. So for me, that tells me that the system is really adding a lot of value versus something else I could do as a trader. And in this instance, that would be to just buy and hold the S&P 500. This is Bill Scheid from Applied Finance Research. Thank you very much for watching and happy investing.